só de ver o site. Vou furar teu jaco da vilone com a Paty. Soluço que pinta com a porra de uma chapa mirada na tua cara. Faz uma carnificina, bitch, só não me incomoda que eu ando meio brabo com o dedo no gatilho. Mano, vou fuder tua vida, é que eu mando o troco, bala meio, passo meio fast. Olha só no morro de lado no skyline. Roda ativante, um body kit foda. Se quiser te mando cola, guarde rei o block. Eu tô no rally ouvindo rock de quem block. Pode ir se luda no fito, para no POC. Hater enjoado, bonde passa, manda coça. Olha.
Good Friday afternoon. Welcome back to Tony's Aerial Photography. Today we're going to talk about the video that came out on Monday. The real difference between cemeteries and graveyards. So, if you watch the video, you know that graveyards are attached to places of worship, and cemeteries are non-secular burial grounds. Either that people didn't believe there wasn't room in a graveyard, or they just wanted to be somewhere public. But during this video, the walk around of the graveyard, I found some odd graves, odd headstones. One, notably, was Ellen S. O'Sullivan, a native of Ireland, and how was it stated, a proud and dedicated Catholic servant. But she was in a Methodist cemetery graveyard. She's interred at a Methodist church, along with several other family members, also Catholic. And I thought, I wonder if this graveyard was at one time a cemetery and there was not a church there. Because here in the local area, we have several big Catholic churches, Presbyterians, and all that, in their own main street in Spartanburg. And they do not have an attached graveyard, so maybe this was just, but that is not the case. This church and graveyard dates back to the Revolutionary era frontier. It was a meeting ground, a brush arbor gathering place, as early as 1780. And in 1789, the first organized church was established on site. So it goes way back there. The O'Sullivan lady was interred in this graveyard in 1909. So it'd been a Methodist worship site way before that. The landowner that donated the land for the church and the graveyard was Ellis Lye Cannon. And because it was a campground, a meeting ground, and his last name was Cannon, it became Cannon's Campground. So that's how it's known. It says during the 1800s, Cannon's Campground became one of the upcountry's best known Methodist camp meeting sites, multi-day revival gatherings that drew huge crowds from 20 miles around or more, wagons circling the grove, preaching platforms set up in a large open tabernacle on the grounds. So, camp meetings were a hallmark of South Carolina Methodism in this period, and by the Civil War, virtually every Methodist church helped fuel the Second Great Awakening and shaped worship and hymn singing culture across the South, and canons fit squarely within the broader movement. So it goes on to say that the first initial building was built in 1830, and later other structures replaced the initial building. So it's been a work in progress, and it's a dated church now, but it's still way more modern than anything from the 1830s. So, I mean, it's a pretty unique place. And then on the cemetery side of things, over at Greenlawn, the place where I'm initially sitting, and I didn't really pay attention when I sat down to film, but I'm on a bench by the big bell tower with the koi pond. That is actually a gravesite for two people. There's two graves there. One is John F. Floyd, and the other is his wife. And J.F. Floyd Mortuaries is all over Spartanburg. I think there's like 5 locations, and they manage 8 or 10 cemeteries. And that is the site of one of the mortuaries, plus the multi-acre cemetery. It's a huge place. And I noticed that it was broke up into sections. They've got a military section that's, if you're not military and you don't have a military headstone, they don't put you in the military only section. It's pretty neat. They were having a funeral the day I was there filming in the military section. And they have several other sections that are more religious based. They have a section for Presbyterians. They have a section for Catholics, a section for Methodists, and a section for Baptists. They have a section for Woodmen of the World. And as we touched on in the video, they have a section for Freemasons. And in symbology, or however that's said, I'm sure I just butchered it. Each headstone in these sections is marked by what it represents, be it Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, Woodmen of the World, Freemasonry, military. All the headstones are marked with whatever symbol is associated with that section. I thought that was pretty unique. I'd never really paid attention to it before. I don't know if it's something they do everywhere, but I know it's done there. So, let me know what you think. Do you enjoy the graveyard and history? And do you want to know more about it? Because I have some ideas that pertain to both cemeteries and graveyards that I'd like to do. So let me know in the comments. Anyway, I appreciate you spending time with me today. And I'll catch you on the next one.